He's 25 years old and he spent over $20,000 on OnlyFans. He's real about his addiction. And for that reason, I really want to use this and highlight just what that looks like from the other side. We can joke around and talk about OnlyFans and how much these women are making, or we can talk about men as consumers. But this is what the other side looks like. This is what is left in its wake. Let's take a look.
This is not my normal video. I don't normally just sit down and talk to the camera, just talk to you guys. Because, I don't want you to see who I am. Because that shit's dark. And I know, it's social media. I'm supposed to act cool. I'm supposed to show you the sports car I'm sitting in right now. I'm supposed to take my shirt off, show you my physique. I could use to pull any girl I want, right? Because that's what you want to see. And what you don't want to hear is that I'm 25. I have a crippling porn addiction. I've spent probably $20,000 on pornography. I have no sex lives because I have erectile dysfunction whenever I try to get with a girl. And I'm just sexually confused as fuck. And I'm just really fucked up.
Again, we can really appreciate when someone is being genuine and real about what is really affecting them, what is really crushing them. It's so much, it's so easy today to just get on social media and show you the highlight reel, show you the trip, show you the cars, show you the glamorous lifestyle. We rarely take the time to use this space in a very productive and healthy and sometimes just kind of raw way. You're seeing what the effects of a rapidly advancing society does to us. And more to the point, men rarely get the chance to or take the opportunity to talk about stuff like this. In his case, he's talking about pornography. Right? We've heard it, how it affects the mind and how it can become sort of a crutch. It's probably one of the reasons why dating is the way it is today. Not the main reason, but we look at it in the general sense as an outlet, a way just to relieve some sort of your stress. But in a subset of people, like most addictions, like one person can have a drink and be fine, and the next person, their life spirals around it. We really don't know who's whom until you have that opportunity. We know there's some prevalence, some genetic disposition to some addiction, but in reality, we never really look at that and say, what does that do? What does that mean for porn? How does that affect your life? How does that affect a man's life? And sometimes, how does it affect a woman's life? In this case, there's often an inability to relate. That fantasy becomes your reality, supplants your reality. So if the women don't look perfected and polished and do all the depraved things that your imagination or that your fingers and typing and scrolling can find, that becomes challenging, and not just in a emotional inability to relate. Is there becomes chemical changes in your body that now you're sort of unable to perform.
I think one of the reasons why I was so drawn to pornography in the first place is because I was raised in a super religious household where, like, sex before marriage, things like that, they were just these despicable, awful sins, right? And so naturally, in order to satisfy my sexual urges, I was turning towards porn and masturbation instead. Uh, I'm not a neuroscientist or anything like that. Um, but you just think about starting any behavior at such an impressionable age and then continuing that behavior for 10 years. And you just think about like what kind of damage that could do. You know, my life is ruined, man. I'll never get that picture perfect family, white picket fence. Because I can't love. I can't fucking love.
So, an important thing I want to point out here, and this is not it's not a conversation to demonize the people that create it. Right? We can understand if there's an appetite, there's going to be someone that supplies said appetite. That's a different, more nuanced conversation. And I think I'm even qualified and capable of having. What we are dealing with is the reality that it exists. It has existed for quite some amount of years and it will continue to exist. The best thing we can do is make ourselves more aware. Because I see something like this and I say, oh, yeah, you can just put it down. You could just leave it alone. But the reality is for other people, that may be very different. So what do? Do you simply wipe it out of, existence altogether? Do you have the do you have the juice to make something like that happen? Or I think is more probably more proactive approach is to really inform the masses of what it looks like. What it looks like isn't what we imagine. We imagine someone being destitute, down on their luck, running and gunning, trying to make ends meet out on the street because their addiction has swallowed them up. Sometimes your addiction, the person sitting right next to you has a crippling addiction. They're just managing it. You just don't see it as you would expect it to manifest. This is what real addiction looks like. There's high functioning. This guy's young, he's on YouTube, his cars, his physique. You would look and say, he's got it all. But in reality, and kudos and thanks to him for sharing, this is what it looks like.
I can't feel fucking anything, man. God, sometimes I just wish I was allowed to be a kid, man. Like, what the fuck was I supposed to do? I was a normal, healthy kid with normal sex drive, and I was taught to suppress it, man. And you want to know what the most twisted part about all this shit is? Is I'm not even sexually attracted to girls in real life.
As I said earlier, your actual drive is supplanted by the imagery, by the videos, by you having access to anything that's ever been made. And that's what the internet has allowed us. Gives you access to everything. You can have whatever your mind thinks of. And with the advent of OnlyFans, you can just get custom videos. I want you to do this. And for the right price, you'll get it. Right? Or you'll move on to the next creator that will supply it.
You want to know how I know that, man? You want to know how I know that, man? Because I get erectile dysfunction whenever I try to get with a girl. I'm like damaged, man. I'm like disaffected, and it fucking sucks because I don't want to be alone. It sucks. It sucks not being able to feel or give love. I've tried relationships and they just fucking fail. Because I'm a monster. I can't feel anything. Sometimes I feel like I'm a sociopath. Something fucked like that.
So this is, ties into another thing we talk about on the channel. The need for you to be as healed as possible before you try to bring someone in to sort of wash over or to fill the gaps that you have in your life. We often think that that person can be the end all be all. If I'm with that person, then I will feel better. Then they won't make me feel lonely as I do. I won't feel as empty. But that's kicking the can down the road, and more importantly, that's putting a lot of pressure, undue pressure, on that potential partner. A lot of relationships, fail or dead on arrival because one or both parties weren't really ever relationship material. Relationship ready is a better way to put it.
God. And eventually, you accept what you are. So you do what you can to feel something. Because all you ever feel is nothing. So in an effort just to feel some kind of like intimacy, feel something, I started paying girls in real life to do things. And what really jacked me up is one of the girls, she started catching feelings. And it's like, damn, like how do you tell this girl, like, sorry, I can't feel anything, I'm a fucking monster. The last girl that I dated, she made me feel like I was normal. And I think that's why I tried to hold on to her so hard. And I know you're watching this video, and I'm not strong enough to call or text you, but I just want you to know that I'm sorry. 'Cause I know I hurt you. You have no idea how beautiful I think you are, and you mean so much to me. And I guess I just want to say, like, if you're in the same boat as me and you are addicted to this stuff, I just want you to know that you're a good person, man. And I know you're trying, and no matter what you tell yourself, on a day-to-day basis, you being here matters, and it matters a lot. I haven't been active on social media in a long time, and I, I think partially I've just felt very fraudulent. I've had sort of this imposter syndrome, because
So, I mean, this is again just real, right? It's real, it's raw, and I think we can always appreciate when someone is really telling their story and speaking their truth about what their life has been like because of an addiction. And I don't know if the last part cut off, but he was saying how he's done this social media thing, fraudulently, inauthentically, where you didn't get to really see who he was, who he is, because it's so easy to hide these things. It's so easy to think I have to show you a cultivated life in order for you to tune in order to get your likes, your comments, your subscriptions, in order to get your attention. I have to show you a curated, perfected life. And we do this, not just on social media, but in our lives, living inauthentically. It makes real connection damn near impossible from the get go. Now, our addictions may not be as you know prevalent as this, as far gone as this, but they're there, right? Maybe it's not addictions, maybe it's trauma, maybe it's hang up. The fact is, yeah, we're all kind of in this together, but we've got a better shot at healthy relationships if we deal with these things up front before sort of dumping them on a potential partner. This guys, if you like this, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I'll see you in the next one.